Hi guys, so let's talk about examining the risks when analyzing a potential investment. When deciding on making an investment, we should bear in mind that there are all kinds of risks that might be involved in the process. So, as a backer or future investor, it is necessary to dive in and evaluate those risks. First and foremost, there's a macroeconomic risk. So, those risks are occurring at this moment on a macro level at large, I would say. As you already could have guessed, they could be of a global nature, such as COVID-19, or political nature, such as shifts in the regulatory or tax regime. The good news is that there are reports being published by organizations on such matters, so it's always a way to see what's happening behind closed doors. Such major factors as unemployment rates, interest rates, exchange rates, and commodity prices can also impact macro risks. Let's say the restrictions around the hospitality industry, for instance, flight constraints between Georgia and Russia, since it's the Russian tourists who bring the money flow to the sector. And it's to be known hospitality services is a core pillar of the economic wealth of Georgians. In order to predict the intrinsic value of the investments, there are such tools as evaluation model and fundamental analysis. There are also the annual international rankings issued to assess the correlation between the economic stability and potential for economic growth. Deploying capital to a foreign country always involves a currency risk. The most common, I would say. To keep a value of influx, investors have to pay attention to the exchange rate risk. Even an insignificant difference will denominate the proceeds. There are three types of foreign exchange risks. So the first one is a transaction risk. It's when the price of a product denominates due to currency fluctuations. So the appropriate measures by the company have to be taken. There's also Uh, translation risk. It's when a subsidiary company experiencing the currency issues and it has to redirect this cash flow to the parent company. And there is an economic risk. It's when the market's value is impacted by currency fluctuations continuously. So, to mitigate the risks, companies can implement the strategies of hedging, which involves options and forward contracts. We also could not to mention the regulatory risks. So, the inclination that we can get from the name only is that it is connected to the governance apparatus. Laws and regulations affect not only civilians of the country, it affects businesses. Let's address the subject of food services regulations due to COVID-19. Long-time restaurants and restaurant-related establishments were affected by the regulatory regime during COVID-19 or simply closed. Some of those businesses were crushed considering new circumstances, which is why the regulatory risks are so important. The main point is that some changes can drastically affect the market and the investments involved, such key aspects as ROI, return on investments, profitability, and potential for growth. An investigating process should be in compliance with the systematic approach of evaluating risks. Thinking ahead and considering a context in which the industry resides is crucial. The global landscape evolves emerging new fintech markets. So here on the map, we can see how it covers 200 and counting contributors, including investors and startups. As we can see, the report evaluates the state of fintech in Africa, Latin America, and South Asia across three lenses. So those lenses are an investment trend. So it covers the investment trends over the last 5 years, product and business model trends, and analysis the reach and analyzes the reach and inclusivity. As we can see, the overall funding has decreased in 2021 across regions, the highest bar of previous periods in India. Nearly half of payments companies have more than 2,000 users. Payment companies, they offer standard banking services in a digital format. Unlike conventional banks, neobanks do not have physical branches and can operate without a banking license. And as a woman, I would like to also say that I'm especially inspired to see that the companies serve more female users. So this is basically how you analyze the risks when making a potential investment. Thank you so much.